What's up, guys? Mustang here, back with another video, and today we're going to talk about that thing. So this is my 1990 Mustang GT, otherwise known as a FoxBody. And there's actually a pretty interesting story behind this FoxBody. So when I was a kid, my dad had a FoxBody that was the very same color. So it was the blue and gray. And a couple years back, I started looking around and I was like, well, I really want to buy myself a FoxBody. So I spent a couple years looking for a FoxBody and seeing what I can find and all of that until that baby came up. And over the years, after I found it and all that, I've actually had it not that long. I've had it for roughly about 8 months, 7 months, 7 months. We're in September now. I got it in January, and it's just a beautiful specimen of a car. I mean, this side is a little bit rough because I took off the moldings, or I'm sorry, the ground effects is what we call it. But for the most part, car's pretty straight. Since it is a 90, it does have the antique tag. But I love this car, and it is a great addition to the Mustang family. And just moving forward with it, and little projects here and there. So let's show you what we got under the hood. So as you can see, very stock car. The only thing that I really had to change on it was the alternator and the radiator. The alternator went bad as soon as I got the car, and the radiator went bad I want to say 4 months after me having the car. This car is so factory that it even still has the factory smog pump. So other than that, I mean, car's good, solid, has a little bit of rust issues, but for the most part, the car is immaculate. I have to change out these fenders and things like that. So, little story behind this car. So this car came from New York, and I had it brought down on a truck, and we brought it down, and like I said, I got it in January, and it's just been fairly decent vehicle. It hasn't been that bad. Have had to do a couple of things to it here and there, but for the most part, the car is fairly solid. So that's the back view there. And what do you guys think of the cheese grater lights? I think the cheese grater lights are just one of the best. So I'm such a fan of the cheese graters. I can't wait to paint it. I actually was able to buff this entire car with the exception of these front fenders. As you can see, there's a color discoloration between this fender and the rest of the car. So I did buff out the entire car with the exception of the fenders. Did get some sanding, and that's where the hood started to look like that. And the original color of the car is actually on the hood. If you take a look right there, there's the original factory color. And I did start buffing the roof, but I just got tired of it and said I'm gonna paint it anyways. So I was like, you know what, let's just leave it how it is. But this back part here, I mean, you can really tell the color right there. And that's just with the cut. I didn't even wax it. So I mean, other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's take it to the inside. So here on the inside, we will see that it is an automatic. Still has the factory radio. Air conditioning doesn't work. But 90s car, it is a little dirty. It has the airbag steering wheel first year for the Mustang. And very importantly, that it's a 90s Mustang because the 89 to 90 brought these badges that said 25 years on them. That's pretty much, interior So on the other hand, front seats pretty decent. Rear seats, which are pretty incredible. If you take a look at the rear seats are actually pretty good, and fairly decent amount of seats. Doesn't look like anybody has ever sat back there. Car is being worked on, so we're doing our thing. So let's open the door and give you guys a tour of the inside of the back of the car. So as you can see, back seats are just immaculate. I mean, when have you seen a back seat of a FoxBody that looked that good? I mean, the whole back seat is just amazing. Does have the center console. Excuse my mess over there. Does have the center console, and the only real big thing about this car is that this seat is actually ripped. Funny story about this car is that this car was a special order car. So since the car was a special order, the owner that ordered it, he ordered the car exactly how he wanted it, and that's pretty much what he got. I mean, he wanted the automatic. I'm not a fan of the automatic, but that's what I got. I got the car for a really good price. So I mean, for a Mustang FoxBody, for the price that I got it for, I mean, it's kind of unheard of. Again, you can see this door. It's just, you could see me in it, and you got to fix the moldings and all that, and I've actually taken some of that rust off, but over the rain and not having the badges on and not having the ground effects on, it takes a toll on it. But this whole fender has to go, and the ground effects are at home, safe and sound, but for the most part, I mean, it's pretty good. So let's get into my favorite part, which is the junk in the trunk. And as you will see, there is a lot of junk in this trunk. So here you will see there's a big white box. Those are actually lights for the front. Came with a whole bunch of parts to use for the car. Came with this filter here, some odds and ends, just some rags. You always need some rags, and little things here and there that I've purchased over time. Now take a look at that interior from right here. I mean, that is a beautiful shot. I mean, as you can see, it's fairly new when you look at the back there. I mean, other than the stuff that's back there, but car is pretty much in good shape. So, but that's pretty much what we are working with. And car, like I said, 30 years old, a beautiful car, and we're just starting out with it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this 1990 Mustang FoxBody. Does have, of course, all of his issues, but for the most part, I mean, it is beautiful. It actually looks better when you stand on this side. So when you stand on this side, you really get that nice profile of the FoxBody. And that's pretty much gonna wrap this one up. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Drop me a like, drop me a comment. I really like to share my cars with you guys. If you haven't seen my other car, my 2018 EcoBoost Mustang, I'll put the video somewhere up here somewhere, and that way you can go check out that car. So that car has performance pack rims, GT front grille, blow off valve, so on and so forth, but I go into more detail in that video, so check that one out. And we will be done with the FoxBody here, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and catch you guys on the next one.